Yo, what's poppin'? You kicking it with the coldest podcast in the land. It's your boy, B Jones, aka Bolo, and you know when I'm pulling up to the porch, I can't pull up without my dog.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Big Smitty, aka D Nice. And where we at again, Bolo?
Y'all know we in the place to be, so go ahead and tell a friend to grab a cup and pull up, because this is the porch.
Started on the porch, that was where it all began. Had to put in work, every day we got it in. We chased all our dreams and now they can't believe it. We make it look easy, we achieving everything we need. Now we undefeated. If we link, no, it's only business. If we get to speak and leave them speechless. I did things for free, but now it costs to see me. When you see me, you ain't gotta greet me. Just don't plot to sneak me. I'ma see it, I'ma stop and watch you lose and get defeated.
Let's get it.
Hey.
What's going on, man? What's going on with you? How you feeling, Brian? Bolo, I called you Brian today. My fault. I called you government name.
You know what, bro? You know what? I'm extremely good. I'm blessed coming off of Easter Sunday. Nice little reset, but all is well. What about you?
Same, man. Same. It's crazy, man. I live out in LA now, and I don't have a lot of family out here. So the holidays are just a little different. That's the only I would say maybe downside about moving away from home is that the holiday season just isn't that same exact feel. But I relaxed all day yesterday. Watched Netflix, was chilling. Like it was just like a regular old Sunday for me. So
absolutely, bro. I can't wait, man. It's just like what a Monday to come in with such a bang with another special guest we got coming on to the porch today.
Another very special guest. I cannot wait to introduce her and share her story with you all. But before we get to that, we got our new segment that we're going to introduce in today, our What's in Your Cup segment. So without further ado, Bolo, I'm gonna start with you. Can you tell the porch what's in your cup right now?
What's up, Porch family? So we go ahead. We wanted to put the What's in Your Cup segment together to give y'all more of a feel on what it's like to really be on the porch. So on today's episode, I got what you call Casamigos. All right, it is a tequila. Okay, it's Blanco, so it's the lighter version. Okay, of tequila mixed with some lemonade. Okay, so I mix it. I put about a couple shots of Casa in there with some lemonade. Shake it up with some ice. Then you having a good night, right? That's how I'm feeling on the porch. What about you, bro?
Oh, you feeling good on the porch right now, man. So I know I got a red Solo cup, and you usually don't pour wine in the Solo cup. But today I had to go a little bit, old school college vibes, right? I had to put a little bit of Rossi in the cup. I put a little bit of Rossi in the cup. I got the red wine in here.
Rossi Mafia.
It goes down real smooth, but you drink too much too fast, it's gonna hit you hard. So that's how I'm feeling right now, man. So, so how about you get a Porch family a quick little toast, a word of inspiration before we introduce our special guest in?
Absolutely. Hey, y'all know the saying for 2022 is, hey, make the best you the best you. Ooh. You feel me? So we're gonna toast to that, hey, because it's all about you at the end of the day.
I like that. Touch the screen. Boom. Yes, sir.
It's like that.
Yes. So without further ado, man, for our listeners, obviously we got our people on YouTube who's been watching and been seeing our guests right here on the screen. But for our listeners, they haven't had a chance to know who the special guest is. So gotta give it a proper introduction. She's a jack of all trades. She's a black belt. She's a corner woman. She's a sparring partner, a brand director. In other words, she does it all. The one, the only Natalie Loureda. Welcome to the porch.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. This is actually my first podcast ever.
What? Oh, first time on the podcast. So it got to be special.
We need a buzzer. We need a that's epic.
We got to make your first podcast moment epic.
Yes.
I think we're on the right track.
Yes,
we are. So, man, it's an honor. It's an honor and pleasure to have you on. It's for us to be your first podcast. Before we even jump into your story and your journey, how's life for you right now? How are you doing right now? I see you got the Miami Heat hat on. You swagged out. Like, what's going on with you right now?
So right now I'm a student and I'm finishing up the semester, transitioning into the summer. But right now I'm having a great time. I'm working on a lot of projects. I'm training harder than ever. Honestly, I'm always kind of in camp because I'm waiting to fight right now. So we'll get into that later, but life is pretty good. I had Easter yesterday. It was a great evening. Went to church.
Amen.
Went on a little run. Was productive. Now I'm ready for the week. And now I'm
Absolutely.
I love it. Great start to the week. You know what I mean? Great Easter. Very productive. That's all I like to hear. So Cool. So let's jump back to the beginning, right? To the early years for you. I know you were born and raised in Miami.
Yeah.
First off, what is life like as a kid growing up in a party city like Miami? Like,
305?
Definitely, it's a very unique city. Like kids are very they're like an adult scene, very young, I would say, like the party life. But for me and my family and my sisters, like we grew up as international world-class athletes traveling every weekend to a different country. So like we didn't really experience the party life, like going on the weekends to friends' beach houses and all that, because we're training and we had to compete, you know?
Right.
Nice.
It was
Now-
an awesome city because we had the Miami Heat winning in like 2012 and 13. So like we grew up like with pots and pans in the streets celebrating. Crazy. That's all I remember as a kid.
Has to be fun.
That's awesome. So I mean, so you've been doing it, you know, since you were younger. I guess, do you remember that first moment? I guess what initially got you into, you know, being an athlete and getting into, you know, sports?
Yeah, for sure. My father, he was the creator of the Loureda legacy, obviously within martial arts, and he started teaching martial arts in Miami, I think for now over 40 years. So about 30 years ago, he opened up his own school and we were born into it. So we didn't really have a choice to do it, but
Right.
it was our family business, you know? So luckily for me and Valerie, we fell in love with it, which was a plus. So
That's
we had our mom, on the other hand, she put us in every sport possible: ice skating, cheerleading, dancing, like tap, ballet, point, all of that. I did soccer, like we did it all. So she tried to keep us very feminine and balanced.
Right.
So I feel like we were very well-rounded kids, you know?
Nice.
That's dope.
Nice.
That's dope. You always hear, you know, parents, you know, often say like when they have kids, especially when they're young, they're gonna make them do everything. You know, you as a kid, you don't really know what you do, what you like, what you don't like.
You don't know what you don't know. Facts.
Exactly. So that's cool. Shout out to your parents for, you know, keeping you and your sisters active and making sure you was doing everything. So it's funny you mentioned that you and your sister fell in love with, you know, with MMA, with fighting, with training. Did you feel that way at the beginning, or like when you first started? Because I know the training can be very tough. I'm sure it has to be a point where you're like, man, I'm not trying to do this, daddy. Like, what's going on?
Definitely I had my cranky days because like it was an everyday thing. And unlike all the other kids in the school, we had to be there from like the time school ended all the way to nighttime. So we had to close the school too, clean up, like do the stuff that we had to do that nobody else had to, you know, had to do inventory, stuff like that. Help manage the school too. So, and also our friends were always there. Like that was our friend group, you know, the Taekwondo kids. So that was our life. Those were our people. We would travel with them. So it was very different. Yeah.
Right. That's pretty cool, man. Like you said, I mean, obviously, as a kid, you know, sometimes you don't always see the big picture. So I can see two sides to it. One side, you might be like, man, I wish I could go outside and just play. You know what I mean? But then on the other side, it's like, nah, this is kind of cool. Like I'm traveling the world and I'm with my friends here, training with my friends, and I'm learning how to fight. I got my dad right here. Like the whole family's just involved. So I think that's pretty dope that the family is so tight-knit, a tight-knit group. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And I guess doing it at such a young age, I'm thinking about it because I have children, and sometimes there's always this conversation about not putting your kids in sports too early or not, you know, spreading them too thin and things like that. I guess, can you look back, you know, at, you know, some of your younger days and say, okay, this is where I learned how to have time management, or this is where I learned teamwork. This is where I learned, you know, these different things. Like, I guess, can you look back and pull different things that you learned and, you know, make you a better woman as you know, grow older?
Yeah, for sure. I had so many experiences where like I would never have time for myself as a student. And somehow after training all those hours, I would manage to do well in school, which was crazy to me because I never got to sleep. Like I had like a very chronic insomnia because there's no time to rest. That's just how life rolled. Right. There's no way you can be healthy because you're always cutting weight, which takes up most of your mentality, like your
mental space. Yeah.
You know? So it's just very hard to even study when your brain is like not even fully there because you're cutting weight too. So I just think that if I was able to do that in life, I could do anything, you know?
So I got to ask, so you were cutting weight at an early age. I guess, how early were you when you started to cut weight?
I would say definitely 10 years old was when we went for like really international important events. Like that's when we started going to US Opens, which are the biggest events. You go to Pan Americans, the biggest events, we were there. And actually I made history with Team USA, and I was part of the first cadet national team. So I got to
Let's
represent.
go.
Yeah, and I was
That's
the
dope.
first cadet team, which means you're 12 through 14 years old. So imagine that. I was so young, and that was the level that I was at. So
Nice. Now, Natalie, for our listeners, you know, we got some listeners who not as in tune into boxing. What does cutting mean? Kind of give us the kind of definition of what that means.
yes, so fight sports, the problem with them is that they have to make weight classes, and there's like various weight classes, but sometimes you have to fight at a certain one because there's people that are very tall and bulky and they belong in the heavier weight classes. And sometimes if that's your natural weight, you're going to be fighting really big people. So sometimes you have to make the effort and cut. So if I would fight at my natural body weight right now, I would be basically fighting an Amanda Nunes. That's crazy, you know? So I would have to cut weight. I need to fight someone my frame and my size. So that's basically the mentality.
Gotcha.
No, that definitely makes sense there. And so me, I'm someone who like I'm really starting to get into like the MMA sport, boxing as well, but I don't have all the knowledge when it comes to like the specific like arts, the specific training. So explain to us what exactly is Taekwondo, because that's what you really special, like that's your specialty, right?
Yes. So I did Taekwondo my whole life, and the translation literally means the art of punching and kicking. Yeah. So that's it's a Korean sport. I have a tattoo of Taekwondo in Korean on my foot.
Nice.
But yeah, it's a striking form of martial arts. So MMA, there's all types of martial arts. There's boxing, that's a stand-up striking.
Right.
Taekwondo, kickboxing, Muay Thai. Then there's like ground sports that are wrestling, jiu-jitsu, all of those are ground. So MMA is a mixture of everything together.
Got
Got
you.
you. That's so. So obviously, like Taekwondo is what you were raised doing. But over the years, have you studied and learned some of the other martial arts as well?
Yes, I've had to because of my sister, of course.
Right.
Since I'm by her side during fight camps and all that, I need to have that extensive knowledge. So initially I started boxing and kickboxing for myself because I needed to be there for my sister, help her train and have that knowledge, because at the end of the day, I'm the person that she trusts the most to be next to her through it all. So I need to have that knowledge. And so I studied the sport. I studied everything possible. And then eventually I got in the ring. So
look, we got to give you your flowers. That's like the ultimate sister goal right there. Like you literally learn just different forms of fighting just to put your sister in a better situation to be successful. Like you don't hear stories like that too often. I'm just saying, D-Nell.
Nah, you really don't, man. That's a great point, man. And it's crazy. It really jumps right into like our next kind of like segment, next question there as well. Just talk about your relationship with your sister, Valerie. I know you two are just on social media. You two are super close, whether it's training, whether I didn't see the Cuban Barbie. Okay, I didn't see
that's cold. That's cold.
She's always repping her sister, and I love it. It's like I saw a video. It was like after one of her wins. I can't remember what the question was, but I remember her just shouting you out and talking about how dope it was to have you in her corner. Talk about just that relationship and how you two were so close.
I would definitely say we struggled. I would say my sister and I are survivors because like what we've done with our life, with everything we've gone through, especially with our family, like a lot of things have happened with my mom, her health too. We're just survivors in general. So we've gone through life together. I have a little sister also, but we're 8 years apart, and Valerie to her is 10 years apart. So Valerie's more like my best friend because we're just 2 years apart. So we went through everything together. We're training partners. When I would compete in a competition, I would be fighting, and obviously my dad would be coaching me. But when I was listening, I would only hear her voice. I can only hear her voice when I would fight, and vice versa. So that's why when she started MMA, she needed to. She won a couple fights without me, but she needed me. So that's why she put me in her corner.
I love that. I love that. And then obviously, siblings, Darnell and myself, we have siblings, and sometimes we bring out the best in each other, right? Like we get after it. Talk about like, those sparring sessions, like when you guys are getting after it, like what are those like? Do those carry over to the dinner table, or like talk to us about that?
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the Rocky movies, but
Yeah.
it's like that fight between Rocky and
Apollo Creed.
and that was like nobody knows what really went on. That's like how our
Yeah.
fights are. Because like when we fight, sometimes we tussle, like for real, but
Yeah.
overall, like we're the same person. So we do crash a lot. We're very strong women. We're very opinionized. So it's just good to have her there because she gives me advice as the older sister, but we get along really well.
I love it. It's like one of those things growing up is like, look, we can fight, but ain't nobody else gonna touch you though. It's
Right.
on.
When we train with each other, we train to like for real. We train 100% always, and that's how me and her work. We're trained people that train with 100% every time.
I love it.
Right. I always wonder, and this might be a silly question, but I just don't know. So when you're training to prepare for actual like fight, obviously, like you said, you're going hard, like you're really trying to prepare, but at the same time, you want to stay healthy. You don't want to get hit hard. How do you find that balance of like going hard, but also like, all right, I'm not trying to hurt my sister or I'm not trying to get hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. That's obviously like part of the coach's his responsibility to make sure that everybody knows that this is a sparring session. This person's in camp. We're going to protect this person. So that's usually how it works. When somebody has a fight coming up, everybody in the gym will know, and when they train with you, they will protect their elbows. Like when they kick, you cover the elbows. Like we do things to protect them overall so they don't get injured, but we still push them hard. You just have to watch the power because you don't know what could happen.
Nice.
Gotcha.
Now walk us through a typical fight. So like, let's put us in this perspective. Like you or your sister have a fight, in 6 months from now. I guess, when do you guys start training? Like, how does that process work leading up to that fight?
Yeah, it varies for every athlete. Like it's not just one way for everyone, but at least for our family, we'll do like a 2-month camp, and that the first 2 weeks will be more of like a mental transition to get your brain in that one vision of fighting and visualizing that moment of you winning. I think, and working on meditation and calming down and slowing down and stop worrying about everything else that you have to do. And then after that, it's the weight cut. You have to start focusing on the number on the scale going down, and at the same time, perfecting the things that you need to perfect. So it's just working on your defense, doing things that you have to perfect. Maybe you have something in mind that you want to do in the ring. You're going to be working on that one thing to see if it will come out.
Right. That's dope. Do you watch like film of your opponent or no? Like during the training process?
Yeah, so you do. Valerie does not like to, and I like to watch because I just like to know. She just will like to know what I need to work on in training so she can feel confident in training that she did everything she can. But she doesn't like to see anything. Honestly, I don't really like to see comments or anything on Twitter because it gets vicious out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Be on social media, people,
damaging,
being fans of the other side, just saying all types of crazy stuff. I can see how that can really get to your head. And like you said before, the first step of training for you all is the mental side of it. So you don't want anything that's going to throw away your confidence or make you think like that there's any chance that you'll lose, because then you will lose.
Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's just like you in the ring. There's not your coach, there's not your sister and your boyfriend. It's just you. The cage closes behind you. You're locked in there. It's like,
I know you've been doing it your whole life, but is that intimidating? Like, because like I played, me and Bolo, we played football, so very physical sport, obviously, but it is a team sport. I know that if I'm lacking on a play, the guy behind me got my back. But like you just stated, you can't slip up in a ring or it's a wrap. Like you get knocked out, tapped out, whatever. I understand you got to have the confidence, but at the same time, when that gate shuts, is there like a sense of nerves that kind of hits the body?
Yeah, for sure. I would say it's like walking to there. The second they call your name that it's time to go, that's when you just can't feel anything. I don't know if this is how everybody else is, but I just kind of like just go through the motions. Like it's just like a you know, you
It's
go
like a
through the
routine.
motions.
Yeah.
Right.
You just walk through, and just people are like saying positive things, negative things. You have to just block it out and just do what you know.
Absolutely. I can just imagine, like, it's so like that type of fighting is just so intense. It's not like boxing, right? Like you're just talking about throwing fists, like you know that your opponent is gonna hit you with a right or a left, right? But
Right.
like this form of fight, like you can get kicked in the face, you can get hit with an elbow, a knee, an ankle, like it can come from any type of way. So that's why, like, just you guys being able to kind of work on the fly and handle so many different things coming right and left is just like, that's why I was kind of curious about the film session and how important that is, because I think this is probably the biggest sport where people should watch film, because it's like, okay, they may come with a left leg, or you know what I mean. So that's impressive though. Like, you know, I guess when you're watching film, right, and then your sister's in the ring, do you kind of speak to your sister through like what you've seen and the stuff that you understand?
Yeah, for sure. Like I'll see if there's like you know, something that they have up their sleeve. Like, for example, the other person's a striker and they have like a spin technique that they like to use a lot. We'll make sure that we're watching out for that. I'll be like, keep your distance, but my job really is to just keep her calm, because you know, it's just to breathe, because sometimes you forget to breathe and you're just like panting, and you just need to remember to breathe through your nose most of the time, I think. But I just try
That's
to
some good advice.
I help her cut weight right before the week. Yeah, it's a lot of work, you know.
I was about to say, I feel like you got to have a lot of like patience and like, you know, even kill mentality too. Cause it's like, if you get to a situation where like, you're like, holy smokes, like this is getting crazy, like, right. And she feels that, like that can affect the whole fight. So it's like, you got to kind of have, you know, just everything put together.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's a good point. And you mentioned, you know, at the very beginning of the podcast that right now you are a student. You're at UCF right now. So how do you find that balance between, you know, going to school, make sure you got your grades on lock, but then training for yourself, because you are still an active fighter, correct?
Yes.
And then you're also training with your, so you got a lot going on. How do you find that balance like in your life?
Yeah. Honestly, since I had such a crazy schedule, I know that I could balance out anything. So I'll just like wake up really early and I'll train in the mornings, like my boxing private sessions.
Okay.
And then I don't have class all the time, so that's just a plus. So I'll go when I need to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm honestly working, everything is online based. So when I did Valerie's merch collection, everything was, you know, online, talking to people, working with the people to make the inventory and all the shipping and handling. That's all virtual. So it's just very easy. So I don't have to be traveling back and forth anywhere to Miami. But I do go home a lot to see my family. I'm going on Wednesday, actually. Yeah.
Nice.
Got you.
Yeah.
It's like you're moving a mile a minute. Like I'm just kind of thinking in my head, just kind of like what a schedule looks like for you. Like I just can tell, like you're just so regimented. Like I guess is there ever a point where like, you know, like when's your off day? Like I just gotta ask, like when's your downtime?
Sundays, but I like to just run on Sundays. So
you're still doing something though.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like you remember a while back we had Nico Ali Walsh on, Muhammad Ali's grandson on, and he said how running for him is actually like relaxing and peaceful.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I'm like, that was our punishment, Bolo, in football.
Seriously, I'm like, that's a grind.
That's a workout. And here goes, you know, Natalie. Yeah, I just run on Sundays. Clear my head.
Yeah. It definitely does. And it just like having nature and breathing fresh air, I feel like that
is true.
Feel so much better. Or like if I'm having a creative block, I'll really run and then I'll come back and I'll finish.
Feeling great.
Yeah.
That's dope. And I'm glad you mentioned creative block. So I know another one of your job titles, I believe, is as brand director.
Creative director.
Creative director, excuse me. Creative director. Explain, I guess, what all goes into that. Obviously, I know one of the projects there, you're wearing a shirt right now for your sister. You put that together, but like on a daily basis, like what does that look like for you?
Yeah. So I used to work for a digital marketing firm. So that is what really gave me all of like the knowledge and skills. So I was like 2 years ago when COVID happened, I realized I need to get on something. Like I feel like I need to learn more. Like I need to be doing more. So then I put my hands in the fire and just jumped into digital marketing and decided to YouTube everything and learn everything. And just, I don't even know. I was like Chinese at first, but I just learned everything, SEO, like how to create like social media, real estate online. I basically learned, and I realized that like I could be doing this for my sister. Like, why am I not, all of these skills that I'm learning with this job, like why can't I apply it to my sister? So that's where I became the creative director for her merch brand, her website. I did her Instagram shop. I did all of that, and I created like her social media presence. And then I also manage her social media.
Yeah. Hey, Bella, we might have to hire her for the Porch. You might have to creative director for the Porch and get our followers booming.
No, for real. Like you get the Sister of the Year award. I just want to tell you that. Like this, all the stuff that you are doing, like is phenomenal. Like like you see people do stuff all the time, but like, you know, obviously a part of what you do is helping your sister become who she is too. And I think that speaks volume to who you are as a person.
100%.
Because like obviously it's our Loureda legacy that we want to grow. If she succeeds, I succeed. Francesca succeeds, my little sister, and vice versa, you know. And that's why in school I'm making sure to study sports business management and marketing, so that I'm also studying now contracting for a sports business, so I can even step in with her management and maybe eventually become her manager and take over.
Wow.
And her mind, for a young person, her mind is just like
like the mindset, like the business aspect, like point A to point B, like, and that kind of gets us into like the next phase, right? Like what's life outside of the ring? You know, obviously managing the business of your sister. Like what's life like for Natalie? Like what are you doing on a slow day? Like what's fun for you?
Yeah.
Honestly, I really like watching YouTube. I like watching podcasts. I like learning about other people and like the way that they think, honestly. And I like to self-reflect. And I like to look back on my progress. Like, for example, like this notebook of mine, this is like everything I've learned like from boxing from day one. Like I'll go back and look at every like combination I did, so I can keep that in my brain, you know. So I'll like try to be on top of the game when I'm chilling.
Dang, she's so locked in. I feel like me and you
like,
we gotta go order.
Or your work days, right? That's what I'm saying. Like if you ask me what I enjoy doing for fun, kicking back with my feet up, watching TV, something to drink, chilling, you know,
going out to eat.
But like you keep your mind working, you keep it fresh. Like that's like one of the greatest habits I think anybody could have. Like,
but don't get me wrong. On Fridays, I love my happy hour.
I was about to say,
there it is.
I was about to say, look, I did a little research, I did a little snooping on her social media account. She know how to have fun now. I done seen her on a boat, a beach, a swimming pool. I done seen her out and about now. And speaking of that, we're gonna get straight to it. You have a very popular, I would say the least, group of friends. I saw you with WNBA star Liz Cambage.
Yeah.
Barbie Blank, she used to be known as Kelly Kelly, was a WWE star. How did this friend group come together? It's a very unique group.
Yeah, so honestly, my sister, she got this sponsorship on her own, Vital Proteins, and they're also known as Vital Performance. And we honestly love that company. Like they promote collagen and they help like wellness and since I'm vegan, that's another thing about me. And most of their products are plant-based, so they'll send me stuff too, and I actually really like it. And during COVID, well, actually right before COVID, before they required mask and COVID tests, before that big transition, they had invited my sister on a trip to St. Bart's. Ooh. And we were like, okay, let's go. And there's a +1, so obviously, and they took us there for like a wellness house. And when we got there, it was like Liz, it was all of them, Cody Simpson, like it was like a crazy group of people that they put us on an airplane with, but we all just spent a week together in St. Bart's in the middle of nowhere doing yoga, sound baths together. Like it was honestly a great experience, and they're great people, very humble, down to earth, and I would totally do the trip again. It was awesome.
I love that, man. Well, hey, if y'all get like a +3 +3 or +4
3 or
next
4.
time,
You know who to call.
Hey, you know who to call.
I'll keep you guys in mind.
We
Fit
pulling
Girl
up.
Mel too. It was Kim Kardashian's trainer, Fit Girl Mel, was there too.
Wow.
Just networking, you know what I'm saying? Just
Plugged
good connections
in.
and networking, man.
That's it.
That's what I love. That's what I love. Now, one thing that I do want to go back real quick to the ring, but before I forget this, one thing I think that's very unique about your sister, right, is, you know, she's very big on building her brand even within the fight. So if you haven't seen her fight before, guys, fans listening in, after she wins, she typically does a little dance move in the middle of the ring, spin move. I don't even know what she even calls it, but it's a nice little dance move, kind of sexy, fun. And she's like, she doesn't hide it, right? Like, she doesn't hide who she is. She puts her personality out there. Is that always been her? Is that always been her personality, or was that something that you guys, I guess, planned, you know, for her career?
No, it's definitely not planned. Like, as I told you, my mom, since we're little, she put us in dance, and we loved it. Like, my sister and I in high school, for fun, we would go to LA Fitness and do the Zumba classes. Like, that's what we would do for fun, you know? Right. And that's just who she is. And with TikTok and stuff, she loves to do her dances. That's who she is. I love to dance too. My little sister is a TikTok queen too. All of us,
the whole family.
Women, we're Cuban. We love to dance and sing, you know. We're not great singers, but we love to.
I'm about to put you on the spot. You almost.
I'm about to say.
Harmonize, dude.
But I think it's dope because there's always been a narrative just in society when it comes to women that, like, you know, if a woman is a athlete, or if she fights, or if she's this or that, like, she can't be, you know, sexy. She can't have that sex appeal. She can't be, you know, feminine. And it's completely false, obviously, because, like you said, yourself, your sister, like, in the ring, she straight badass. You know what I'm saying? She's locked in. She's locked in. She's fighting you. But then outside the ring, regular, you know, she's modeling. She's out, you working out, you dancing. It's like, I think it's dope that, you know, you both kind of show that as women, you can do both. Like, you don't have to necessarily say, oh, I'm just an athlete, or I'm just this, or I'm just that. I'm a lot of things, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm really glad we're making that a thing, because it's really unfortunate that just because, like, you're kind of cute, you're not taken seriously. Like, you're called Cap all the time. Oh, you're a fighter, Cap. Like, everything you're called Cap, and honestly, I don't really care, because, you know, I don't need to prove anything to anyone, but it's just like, why can't women learn how to defend themselves? And that's another thing that I want to change. I want more females to learn martial arts in general, whether it be boxing, kickboxing, or jiu-jitsu, or anything, at least something, so they can defend themselves, you know?
Facts.
That's real.
I agree 100%. I think at the end of the day, like you said, like, it's okay to do both. Like, it's okay to be in both, like, especially in the WNBA too. Like, I feel like a lot of people, you know, stereotype, you know, women who play basketball, right? But you can do both. Like, you know what I mean? I know a lot of pretty women who are out there, you know, MMA fighting, out there boxing, out there playing basketball and things like that. So I agree 100%. You keep pushing that. And I think it's slowly but surely starting to improve, but we got a long way to go. But I can see the progression though.
100%. Now, let me ask you this. Now, this is a separate question. Just came to my mind. Now, I don't know your relationship status. I don't know if you have a boyfriend or not. I have no idea. It's not my business. But in general, is it intimidating for your like, when you're dating, when people know that you can fight and you can be like, because, like, if you're dating somebody, you got a boyfriend, in the back of his head, he knows, like, you can kick his ass
at any point.
At any point, like, he says the wrong thing, you can put him in the damn headlock and choke him out for the rest of the night. Has that been difficult in the dating scene, knowing your profession?
I definitely think that some men can find it intimidating, but that I don't like those men. You know, I like the men that think it's cool, that, like, respect me for it, that motivate me for it. That's what I like, you know. Unfortunately, I've encountered a lot of, you know, insecure ones. I'm not gonna single them out, but it's honestly, like, men should find it cool, like,
right. I think it's dope.
Uplift me instead of bringing me down, you know.
100%,
Absolutely,
100%. You put out a tweet, like, it was a while ago, saying that it's kind of separate but a little bit on topic. It was something along the lines of, like, hey guys, like you think me and my sister don't know when you slide in both our DMs? How often is that? Like, you got a lot of guys sliding both y'all DMs like all the time.
They think they're sneaky. But I manage her social media, so like we'll talk about it and we'll be like, did he hit you up? And she'll be like, yeah. And then like we're like, what a little scumbag. No, like,
nerd.
So like we'll cancel them out. Like you're done.
Dang.
Easy. Is it
on,
now let me ask you this though. Does DMing work though? Like if you see somebody that you like in the DM, is it worth pursuing? Because a lot of people tell us DMs don't really work no more.
That's a good question.
Honestly, it's worked for me.
Okay. Yeah. Now I gotta ask you this to add on to that. What do they have to say? Like, what's that attention getter? Is it the eyeballs? Do somebody have to literally say something? Like, what do they have to do to get your attention?
I hate the eyeballs. Don't.
Okay.
Honestly, it's like more of a vibe check. Like, I won't like. It needs to be a vibe. Like, obviously, I'll look at your page and I'll see like what you're about. But if you seem too conceited, I'm never gonna answer. Like, nah. But definitely, it's like if I like the vibe, then I'll continue on. And.
Facts. What if you figured out they couldn't fight? Would you still date them?
Obviously.
Okay, because you got the hands. That's all that matters.
It's like, baby, you don't need to fight. I got us.
Don't worry about it.
I got us.
I got us.
That's hilarious. Now it's funny you mentioned though, like you said, it's the vibes. We had a guest on, like last week or 2 weeks ago, said the same thing about her.
The energy.
It's about the vibes. It has to be about the vibes. So, and with you having such a big following, I'm sure you have so many blue check marks in your DM, so many like famous people or athletes, just bigger name people trying to shoot at you. And like you said, as we know, unfortunately, a lot of times what comes with that is the big heads, the egos, the whole just. So yeah, man. So just keep on being you and checking the vibe. Make sure the vibes is right. So
got to.
I love it.
It's not about vibes.
Yes. So let's move on to our doorbell segment. So this is actually our quick hitters. Some fun questions that we'll hit you with, and you just give us like a one or two liner in response. So I'm gonna start it off, Bolo, and then you jump in. So the first question for you: would you rather knock somebody out or make them tap out?
Ooh.
Definitely knock someone out. Like it's more satisfaction. Like you instantly drop them or like broke something. For sure.
I feel that. You said you broke some.
Yeah, like a rib.
I love it. All right, now I got one real tough for you. All right, here we go. Choose one: UCF football or the Miami Heat.
Oh, Miami Heat all the way.
All day, huh?
She
said that was too easy. Look at the hat, bro.
But she goes to UCF. I be seeing her at the football practices, the games.
Yeah, I love them, but not that much.
She said not that much.
She said it ain't nothing too much.
Yeah.
I got. Let me go back to back. I got another one for you. So I've been to Miami a couple times. Party, turned up. So I know a little bit about the party scene. Which Miami club is more lit?
Ooh.
11 or Story? I know you've been to both.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I think 11 because every time at 11, since Valerie's sponsored by 11, we go off there,
I go crazy.
Go crazy.
11, Bolo. I don't know if you ever been to 11?
I've never been to Miami.
What?
I know, y'all. I'm sorry. I've never been to Miami. It was always a bucket list for me too. Just hear about it. Lil Wayne talk about it. You know what I mean? Live on Sunday.
King of Diamond episode in Miami now. We got to bring Natalie back home. We're gonna do a live in-person episode in Miami, outside Club 11. They're gonna sponsor the show, and we're gonna make it a full thing. Come on, Bolo.
Hey, you know what I say? You put it out there, it's gonna happen.
It's in the universe.
It's in the universe. You just put it out there to the world, bro.
Yes,
so
sir.
It's only right we make it happen.
Yes, sir. No, of course, man. So, what? Last one here. Fill in the blank. In 2022, Natalie Loureda will blank.
Win her first kickboxing match.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
I love that.
Hey,
hell of a goal.
She said her goal.
Yeah.
She meant it when she said it. So what's gonna happen now?
Yes, sir.
Get it popping.
Well, hey, Natalie, it's been an honor to have you on here. For this to be your first podcast is huge. Before you go though, we want to give you a chance to shout out anything that you got going on. You know, obviously your IG, your Twitter, anything you want to shout out. Here's your time to this. Let the Porch family know.
For sure. I'm Natalie Loureda on all platforms. On TikTok and Snap, I believe I'm Lo Loureda. And then, there's just a lot to come. I'm transitioning into a new sport now, and I'm hoping to conquer this, go pro, and eventually go pro in boxing as well. And there's a lot to come for the Loureda sisters as well, for my sister. A lot of news to come. Can't talk about it yet, but we have a new merch as well dropping. So stay tuned.
Nice.
I'm also dropping a NFT collection called Loading. So
let's go.
I'm about to buy
you
one.
Doing it all. We definitely gonna support. We gotta support.
We gotta support
all
man.
Day.
We appreciate that. Keep hustling. You definitely I'm leaving this episode feeling inspired. I know you're younger than me, but sometimes you can learn from everybody. Bolo, you always say that. I don't care if you're older, younger, whatever. You can learn from everybody. I'm leaving here. I'm ready to do 25 push-ups right now. I'm ready to get to it.
I ain't gonna lie to you, Natalie. You may want to call my sister right now. She in college right now. I think I'm gonna just send her a couple $2 just because. I'm gonna be for real with you.
Hey sis, what you need? You got everything you need?
You know what I'm saying?
What you struggling with? I love it.
But it has been a pleasure. We appreciate the wisdom. We appreciate the game. We wish you the best of luck in all your future endeavors and everything you got going on. Shout out to you. Shout out to the Loureda family. It's your boy B Jones. It's my boy D Nail. Follow us on all platforms. All right. We are on YouTube as well. All right. So make sure you go ahead and check out these beautiful faces right here on this camera. Okay. All right. And I'm always leave y'all with this. Okay. Make sure the best you is the best you. The Porch Podcast _ We out. Peace.
On the porch, that was where it all began. Had to put in work every day, we got it in. We chased all our dreams and now they can't believe it. We make it look easy, we achieving everything we need. Now we undefeated. If we link, no, it's only business. If we get to speak and leave them speechless. I did things for free, but now it costs to see me. When you see me, you ain't gotta greet me. Just don't plot to sneak me. I'ma see it, I'ma stop and watch you lose and get defeated.
Presented by Bet Online.